Hello friends, this is Rajul Suthar, Assistant Professor of Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology in Computer Department. सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग के लास्ट चैप्टर यानी कि यूनिट नंबर 10 में आज जो हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं वो चैप्टर है एडवांस टॉपिक इन सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग. प्रीवियस यूनिट में हमने डेवऑप्स कवर किया था. सो डेवऑप्स के बाद ये लास्ट चैप्टर जिसका वेटेज 5% वेटेज है सिलेबस अगर आप देखो तो. इसमें टॉपिक जो कवर होने हम करेंगे वीडियो लेक्चर में वो इस प्रकार है. फर्स्ट कंपोनेंट बेस्ड सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग क्या है वो डिस्कस करेंगे. देन क्लाइंट सर्वर सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. देन वेब इंजीनियरिंग एंड री इंजीनियरिंग प्रोसेस क्या है वो देखेंगे. कंप्यूटर एडेड सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग यानी कि केस और केस टूल के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. देन सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोसेस इम्प्रूवमेंट क्या है एंड इमर्जिंग ट्रेंड इन सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग. ये सारे टॉपिक ये वीडियो लेक्चर में हम आज कवर करेंगे. सो लेट वी स्टार्ट विद द कंपोनेंट. व्हाट इज़ अ कंपोनेंट? सो कंपोनेंट क्या है? इट इज़ द रीयूजेबल पार्ट. So if we say about the definition of component, a component is a modular, portable, replaceable and reusable set of well-defined functionality, okay, that encapsulates its implementation and it exporting it as a higher level interface. So कंपोनेंट बेस्ड सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग स्टडी करने से पहले हमें कंपोनेंट क्या है वो पता होना चाहिए. ओके, सो CBSE इज द प्रोसेस दैट फोकस ऑन द डिज़ाइन एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ कंप्यूटर बेस्ड सिस्टम विद द यूज ऑफ रीयूजेबल सॉफ्टवेयर कंपोनेंट. हियर ईच एंड एवरी कंपोनेंट इज अ रीयूजेबल. ओके, component based software engineering is an approach defining, implementing, integrating loosely coupled independent component into the system. It is reuse based approach CBSE framework activity that cover the qualification, means component qualification. This activity ensure that the system architecture define the requirement of the component for becoming the reusable component. Reusable component are generally identified through the traits in the interface. It means service that are given and means by which customer or consumer access this service that are defined as a part of the component interface. Then second thing that is called the adaptation. Component adaptation, this activity is required for the architecture that define the design condition for all the component and identify their modes of connection. In some of the cases, existing reusable component may not be allowed to get the use due to the architecture's design rules and condition. This component should be adapted and meet the requirement of the architecture of reuse and replaced by the more suitable component. Then third one, that is the component composition. This activity is required to architecture style of the system integrate the software component and from working of the system by identify the connection and coordination mechanism of the system. The architecture describe the composition of the product of the end product. Then last one, that is called the component update. This activity is required to update the reusable component. Sometimes updates are complicated due to the inclusion of the third party, means the organization that develop the reusable component may be outside immediate control of the software engineering organization that accessing the component directly or concurrently. So here the simple component based software engineering image is described, that is the domain engineering and component based development. benefit to using the component based approach. So in the CBSE, it become easy to construct the understandable, maintainable software. It allow for reuse. Here the benefit, like we can reuse the component. Then component based UI approach accelerate the development. Okay, so development will be improved. Then third one, it ensure that the user experience consistency across the portfolio. It is easily integrated into the development process. Then component based UI development optimize the requirement and design process. And last one, it speed up the transition from design to development. So these are the benefit while we are using the component based approach. Other benefit, like it become easy to construct the understandable and maintainable software. Component are independent entity and they do not interface in the other component. Component implementation is hidden. Communication among the component is through the well-defined interface. Component platform can be shared and ultimately it reduces the cost of development. Here not cover the drawback, but some of the drawback, like it is difficult to verify the component without the source code. The quality of component cannot be verified. It is not possible to predict the emergent property of component composition, and it is difficult to make the trade-off between the features of various components. So these are the drawback of component-based software engineering. Then let me discuss about the client-server software engineering. So in this figure, client-server software engineering, client is described by using the client 1, 2, 3 and 4. All the client are use the some of the server, like client 1 is use the internet and access the catalog server for library catalog information. Client 2 is use the internet for the accessing the film store or server, video server. Same thing, client 3 that access the photo store, it use the picture server, photo server. Then last one, client 4 that access the web server for the film and photo information. So here the configuration of client and server means client does not share any of its resource, but it requests the content or service from the server. Client therefore initiate the communication session with the server, which await incoming request. Example, the computer application that use the client server model, and like the email, network printing, the World Wide Web. So here some of the example are already covered in the figure. So this is the client server software architecture. In the client server software architecture, the model the application in such a way the server consists of the set of services which are demanded by the client. That means client demand for the service, server provide the service to the client. The client and server are separate process. So that is called the client server architecture. Some important part of the client and server, that request client, each and every request will be handled by the server. Here types of the client server architecture. First, that is the two-tier architecture. In the figure, two-tier architecture is described. The two-tier approach to the application modeling is to run at the client one, which contain all the business logic code and communicate directly with the database server itself. In the figure, look, the client is connected with the database. So client application can C++, .NET, Java, etc. while you are using the database. So database that store the some of the application by using the WAMP server or XAMPP server. Same thing, the client server architecture on the server might be connected more than one client. The simplest client server architecture called the two-tier client architecture, in which application execute on two tiers, client layer and server layer. The two-tier architecture is the following type. First, that is called the, we can say, divide in thin client model and fat client model. So the modeling is a fat client described in the figure. The advantage, the model is used. This model is used in the simple application. Example, the compiler application, you can say the compiler application, or here example is already described for client, that C++, .NET and Java client application. Some of the disadvantage of thin client model, like there is a heavy load on both the server and the network. The server is responsible for all computation. This is ultimately result in heavy network traffic between the server and client. There is a lot of processing available in the modern computing device. It executing simply the presentation software on the client, which not utilize the power of this computing device. Then fat client model, the server is responsible for only data management. The application logic is and presentation software is executed on the client itself. We can say the example of fat client, that is the automatic teller machine, ATM. So it is the client server model. The ATM is connected to the server. The user operates the ATM and information is processed at the client side. The data management part are handled by the server. So here some of the advantage, like this model make the proper utilization of power computing device by executing the application logic on the client. Thus the processing is distributed effectively in a fat client model. The application functionality is spread across many computers, and thereby the efficiency of overall system get the increase. Some of the disadvantage also covered for the fat client. In this type of a model, the system management is more complex. It is the application software has to be changed. Then this type of application that involve the reinstallation of the software in every client, so it become a costly. Then look in the figure, second one, that is the three-tier architecture. So the three-tier architecture view the focus around the removing of the business logic and heavy application code from the client and placing into the central application. Here central application server will be used. Then it keep the client lighter and easier to maintain, as well as giving the more power to the middleware so that it can control the group of client independently. Here burden can be removed. So in this architecture, the presentation, application processing and data management are logically separated process that execute on different processors. Example of three-tier architecture, the internet banking system. Three-tier architecture in this application, the client browser, the web page are request for the banking transaction. This is the presentation tier. Then the application process request and communicate the database server to verify the request for the transaction. This is the application processing tier. So the database server store the bank database and execute the query. The result of the query are returned to the application server. So this is the client server software engineering, client server models, 2-tier and 3 tiers. Then web engineering. Web engineering is the sound scientific and engineering and management principle and discipline. It also systematic and disciplined approach to successful development, deployment and maintenance of high quality web based system application, or we can say the web engineering is the application of systematic discipline and quantifiable approach to development, operation and maintenance of the web-based application, and it is the both proactive approach and growing the collection of theoretical and empirical research in the web application development. Some of the attributes of the web application that cover the web application is a continuous application. Here the attributes of web application are based on the nature of it. So first one, let me discuss the concurrency. What do you mean by concurrency? The large number of users can access the same web application concurrently. Sometimes pattern of the use of the web application among the user may be varying greatly. Then second thing, that is called the performance. What do you mean by performance? It is if a user has to wait for the long time to access the desired web page, then he may be lose the internet interest in the accessing it. So performance must be higher. Web engineering that cover the performance mean accessing time is shorter for continuous interest to access the internet. Then network intensiveness, so that is the particular web application may be reside on the internet, or it may be present on the intranet, or maybe on the extranet. That means the environment in the which web application is residing. So it is called the network intensiveness. Then unpredictable load. What do you mean by unpredictable load? The load for accessing the particular web application. There that means some of the day 10 user might be accessing the web application, and immediately on the next day thousands of users access the same application. So just like an example for the unpredictable load, whenever you access the GTU website, so normally staff and student that use 10 users might be access the GTU website per day, while but in the case of the result is generated at that time, this user will be increased, like 1000 or 10,000 user simultaneously access the or it access same time access the GTU website. So that is called the unpredictable load. Then availability means 100% available of particular web application is just impossible, but the application which is very frequently should be available to its user almost all the time. We can say the server will be active for that continuous available of the web page. Then data driven. What do you mean by data driven? The primary content on any web application are text, graphic and sound as well as video. Some of the web application may be present information to its user using the database, and such a database might be on remote machine. That is called the data driven. Then content sensitivity. It is the important aspect of any application, any web application. The information present of the web application must be authenticated. Similarly, the content must be arranged on the web page must be authenticated. The quality of the web application is dependent upon the attributes. Then continuous evolution. What do you mean by continuous evolution? Web application evolve continuously. There are some web application that continuously minute to minute updating. For example, web application showing share market position. Okay. Then security. Strong security is the topmost demand for any web application. Sometimes the sensitive information must be conveyed to the limited number of users. In such a case, strong security measure must be applied, like banking application, Gmail application. Okay, so require the strong security. So these are the attributes of web engineering. Let me show the re-engineering. The definition of re-engineering is recognize and modifying existing software system to make them more maintainable. So re-engineering already discussed in previous chapter. It is nothing but the some of the reverse step of software development life cycle. So step involved in the re-engineering that cover the inventory analysis, then document reconstruction, reverse engineering, code construction, data reconstruction, and forward engineering. So the software re-engineering is the examination and alternation of the system to reconstitute it in the new form. The principle of re-engineering when applied to the software development process is called the software re-engineering. It affects the positively at the software cost, quality of service to the customer, and speed of the delivery. In the software re-engineering, we are improving the software to make it more efficient and effective. Some of the steps that cover the that is the inventory analysis. So what do you mean by inventory analysis? Means every software organization should have the inventory of the all application. Inventory can be nothing more than the spreadsheet model containing the information that provide the detailed description of every active application. Then document reconstructing. What do you mean by document reconstructing? Document must be updated. It may not be necessary to fully document an application. The system is business critical and must be fully redocumented. So documentation, either the explanation how it operate or how it use. It is the simple manual. Then reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is a process of design recovery. Reverse engineering is a tool extract the data, architectural and procedural design information from the existing program. Then code reconstruction. To accomplish the code reconstructing, the source code is analyzed using the reconstructing tools. Violation of the structure programming that construct are not, and the code is the reconstruct. The resultant reconstruct code is reviewed and tested for the model. Then data reconstruction. So data reconstruction begin with the reverse engineering activity. Current data architecture is discrete in necessary and model are defined. Data object and attributes are identified, and existing data structure are reviewed for the quality. Then we all familiar with the forward engineering. So forward engineering is nothing but the revolution or reclamation, not only for the recover the design information from the existing system, but use the information to alter the reconstitute the existing system in the efforts to improve its overall quality. So this is the re-engineering process. Then computer aided software engineering we will discuss in next video lecture. Thank you so much.